Hello Trinkets, it's Tara here from Tara's Treasure Trove, and today in the Trove we are going to be creating these lovely little gift boxes. I am doing my very first workshop next week, and as part of the kickoff I have promised all of my attendees a free gift, so I needed a cute little gift box to put it in. I think these are just perfect, and so I thought that I would share with you how I made them. I'm calling it the mini pizza box, so I'm sure it probably has a more official title somewhere out on the interweb. Anyway, here we go. Okay, so we're going to start by taking this piece of cardstock. This is from a retired set from actually probably 6 years ago. And it has been cut to 8.5 long by 4.5 wide, so you can see here. We're going to score it starting on the 4.5 length side. We're going to score it at 4 inches. And then we're going to turn around and score it at 4 inches again. I just find that it's easier to turn the paper than to try to score this way. So on the long side, we're going to score it at 8 inches. And then 4.5 inches, 4, and then I'm going to turn it and score it at 8 again. Now that we're done scoring it, we are going to take it and fold it and burnish it with a bone folder. And by doing this, you are preventing cracking in the cardstock, which is good because all of the Close to My Heart cardstock has a white core. So if it cracked, then you would see white on all of these edges instead of the pretty color of the cardstock. So we have to do the side ones too. Hope you can see this okay. Alright, so now that that is all done, you should have a paper that looks like this. So you're going to have a 1/2 inch on each edge, 3.5 going in, and then a 1/2 inch in the middle. And what we're going to do now is we're going to cut. There's a little square here, and a little square here, and a little square here, and the same on this side. And we are going to cut into those. So what you want to do is take your micro tip scissors, and on the little square, you're going to cut up to the score line from the bottom. Can you see that? And then we're going to make a little notch here. Just teeny tiny. I don't know if you can see how big that is. I mean, it's just a little teeny tiny. So I made a diagonal cut so that I made a diagonal cut from the little flap in, because this is going to help you when you're adhering your box together, so all the little pieces fold and fit together. And you're going to cut in and notch on both sides of the middle square. So do you see how it kind of is going in almost like a triangle or something? And you're going to cut in on the last square also and notch it just on the one side. So now you should have 3 box flaps, and we're going to flip it around and do the same thing on this side. So when it's all finished, that is what you should have. And before I put my box together, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. I wanted to wait until after I had all the score marks on here so that I can kind of line up my stamps with the score marks. And you always want to take your foam from your Close to My Heart stamp sets and put that underneath whatever you're stamping, because it's going to help you get a nice even stamp. And today I'm going to be using this Always Remember Something and Is About to Happen. Those are from the July stamp of the month, which is called Life is Wonderful. And I'm also going to be using these squigglies too from that. And then I'm going to be using the word special, which comes out of Finding the Words. And this For You in this little frame. I don't think you can see that very well, but you'll see it when I stamp it. That is out of the August stamp of the month, which is called Framed, and it's really cute. I'm going to get a lot of use out of that. And everything that I use is going to be listed in the bottom. I'm just going to make it simple and stamp with the black Archival ink. So first, I'm going to do the Always Remember Something. And I've been having a little bit of trouble with this stamp. I have it lined up. I don't know if you know this, but on the, let me show you. On all of the Close to My Heart stamping blocks, there's a little tiny line that's about 1/8 of an inch in. And you can use that to line up words and things so they're straight. But, which I've done with this Always Remember Something, but the problem is that I'm not getting even pressure on my stamp when I stamp it because it's at the top. So I'm going to press this down nice and evenly. You want to keep it on the paper a good 2 to 3 seconds so that the ink soaks in. Now, I'm not going to edit this out. I'm going to go ahead and show you. See how some of the color is missing from that? I didn't stamp it evenly and I didn't let it sit long enough. But the great thing is we use clear blocks, and so you can just re-ink your stamp and then line it back up and stamp in the exact same spot, and it will fill it in. There we go. So we'll just line this back up here, right on top, trying to press evenly. I had my shirt under there, that doesn't help. Okay. See, that's much better. Always remember something. And then I'll do Is About to Happen, because then it kind of creates a little frame for me to work in the middle of. Great. Okay, and then we're going to do the little squiggles. Okay. I got a little ink on the block. I just wipe it off with a baby wipe. I'm lining this up here like this. And I'm also going to do some swirlies on the bottom part. There is a right and left swirl with this set, which is really nice because a lot of sets that I've seen out on the market, you know, they'll give you one swirl and you want to do a right and a left, but you only have the one direction. The struggle is real, my friends. Okay. See how that made a really cute little frame? Okay. I'm going to do some more swirls on the bottom here. And so that is the bottom. And that's the top. Now I'm just going to squeeze this little word special in here. I was going to have it just say always remember something is about to happen, but I felt like it needed just a little something else in there, so I added this special, and I think it works really well. It needed a little something special. So, and then on the inside we put for you. I'm a messy, messy girl. All right. Oh, see, I need to re-ink it. A lot of times it helps if you tap it and then smear it around and then tap it. You have to tap it after you smear it because otherwise your stamp will show the smear marks. So always tap it. You get a nice coat of ink. There we go, that's better. So it says for you on the inside. And we're going to use some Glitz Gel. This is in bronze. Just add a little bit of glimmer. And what I'm going to do here, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. I am just going to go on the top, nothing big, but I'm going to trace these little swirls on the sides here. Just add a little something special. So you just squeeze it out evenly and trace the swirl. Make sure it's about the same consistency all the way along. If it thins out, just go back and fill it in. No big deal. Close to My Heart makes it super easy to use their products. There we go, just fill that in a little. And I don't have a heat gun, so that is going to have to just air dry. So I will let that dry and we will come back to finish it up when it's ready. The glitter glitz, or it's Glitz Gel, has dried, so you can see how pretty that looks on there. And so the next thing that we're going to want to do is put a notch on the front of this so that it's easy to open. And for that you can just do it with your 1-inch circle punch. You flip it upside down so that you can see this hole where it's going to punch out. And I just kind of center it and just take out a little bit. So you can see now that that is notched and the little bit is down in the bottom there. But that's just going to make it a lot easier when we're trying to open the box. And so we are going to use, today we're going to use the broad tip glue pen, which is a little messy, but I think it's a little bit stronger than the easy glue dots, which is what I use for a lot of cards and stuff. I want to make sure that we have a strong hold on the box. So it's going to be a wet application, and I think I'm going to start with the middle notches first. I'm just going to do this on a little scrap paper, and the middle notches get glued to the bottom half of the box, not the top half. The top half has to stay mobile because that's the lid, and that's how it's going to open and close. So just put a little glue on there, and because it's the wet glue, you have to hold it for a couple minutes. Well, not a couple minutes, but a few seconds. Eventually it'll hang on to it itself. And when you first try to close the box, it might be a little bit tight. You might have to help it, but once you do it, it will open and close very easily. last tab. Okay. So now you can see it looks like a little pizza box, just like I promised. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this glue here so it doesn't dry out. And move that scrap paper because it's very sticky now. So when you are closing the box, the top flaps go on the outside and the bottom ones go on the inside. And like I said, you're probably going to have to manipulate the paper a little bit. See, this one's a little tight in this corner, so I'm going to manipulate the paper a little bit until it gets to a point where I can close it all the way. So these are the petite perks, and they fit perfectly in the box, a little bit of room. And then I'm just going to close the box here. And voila! I think now that we have our box, the final piece is going to be some twine. We have this neutral metallic baker's twine. And I am going to just casually measure it out. That whining and sneezing you hear is one of my puppy dogs. Okay. So what I want to do then is just kind of tie it loosely so that the bow is towards the bottom where the word special is. Yes, Ginger, I hear you grumbling. It's 1 o'clock in the morning right now, so it's past my dog's bedtime. But, you know, you get on a roll and you just keep going. At least that's me. Okay, so now I've got this cute little bow. Let's tighten it up and trim it up. I really like this glitter twine. It's not too fancy, it's nice and casual, it goes with a lot of stuff, but it's got a little sparkle and shine. Okay, so there you go, the finished product. And I really think the girls at my workshop are going to love this. I think it's completely adorable and so simple, took us hardly time at all. Yeah, all the products will be listed below, and they will be links to my website where you can purchase them. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. And if you do one of these yourself, or if you have any twists on it, then post video links below or pictures. I would love to see them. All right, have a great night.